There's no time like mid-January for some mediocre, achievable ADHD resolutions, which is why we're spending this episode setting goals for 2024 that won't leave us heartbroken. Think less, contribute to my 401k, and more, take in the beauty of a butterfly. We're also reflecting on our favorite episodes from the past year, revealing our regrets, vowing to disappoint you slightly less in the coming year, and learning to embrace the cringe of existing. Whether you'd like to spend more time splashing in puddles or you're aiming to avoid Lyme disease, grab a pen and start dreaming small in this special New Year's reflectisode.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
Stat,
you gotta get that. This is magic all over again.
I've been singing it for days. Just ask Ian. Anytime we watch, because I got out of my system, we watched Home Alone like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
I did this for like a week.
Yep.
Then we stopped. Then we had his dad and stepmom over. What's up, David? Hope you're having a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
We had them over last
good night,
Saturday. Good night, David.
We haven't said good night to David in a really long time.
I know. We should try to remember it.
Good night, David.
Good night, David. But wait back up. We haven't even started. But they came over to do Christmas with us this last Saturday night, and I just foolishly threw on Home Alone as a good background Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Started the whole thing all over.
You're not singing it from The Grinch?
No, it's from Home Alone.
I thought it was from The Grinch.
It's from Home Alone.
I thought you were singing Dahu Dore.
No, it's like the song that plays throughout both Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. It's like they play this recurring song and someone does a bad version of it. It's like a TikTok sound.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I thought that was from The Grinch.
No, it's from Home Alone. Because
Oh.
they use that song throughout the entire movie whenever they have like a precious moment. It's like the...
I thought you were... What's the one from The Grinch?
Yeah, that one's Home Alone. Grinch is Dahu Dore, Dahu Dore, welcome Christmas, Christmas time.
Oh, that's great. Lovely.
Yeah, they kind of do sound very similar.
They sound similar. See?
But
not my fault.
The annoying one I'm singing is the most annoying version I can possibly make of the Home Alone song.
Got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
All right. Should we get this showboat on the road?
Yeah. Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Stanhope.
And I'm your host, Grace Beret.
Did we do rim sounds?
No, we did not.
Oh.
Rim sounds. Okay.
Okay. And we're back. Rim sounds unlocked.
You could do a really annoying version of that song on your kazoo. The Home Alone song. Because I think that's what the TikTok sound is. No, that's the Grinch.
Oh,
you got to do the... Now you're confusing me.
I don't... They're the same song.
No, they're not. They're different songs.
You start and I'll join in. Okay.
There you go. Meet my note. Amazing.
I think that went really well.
Maybe that'll get it out of my system. Because I think I'm always striving to do the worst version possible. And it's really fun.
Me in. I'm your girl.
Yeah. You can do a worse version than I could have ever imagined.
I'm really good at making things worse.
Yeah, you are.
It's one of my talents.
And if you're still here...
your ears aren't bleeding.
Yes, thanks for not shutting the show off. And I guess we'll crack on into it.
Yeah.
All right.
You get a warm-up question?
I do, but did you have a different warm-up question you were going to do for this New Year's one? Or do you want me to ask this one?
Grace.
Yes.
It's 2024.
Apparently. That's what the calendar tells me.
Yeah. Did you make a New Year's resolution?
See, normally you would expect me to say New Year's resolutions are stupid.
This is exactly what I was almost afraid to ask the question because I already knew the answer.
You didn't want to hear my rants.
Well, no, I love the rants, but I didn't know...
Well,
I didn't know if we had time for such a rant.
The discourse I've seen on TikTok that really has changed my perspective is that your resolutions can be anything you could possibly dream of. Yeah. And I think we think of them as they have to be like punishments. Like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to go to the gym every day.
Right.
I'm going to eat healthy. But really, they can be things like eat more crab rangoon. And that could be a New Year's resolution.
That's a great resolution, yeah.
I'm going to skip barefoot in the grass more.
Ooh.
That's a resolution. Boom.
Watch out for Lyme disease.
Done. Fine.
Yeah.
Watch out for Lyme disease. There's another one.
That's a good one.
That's a resolution.
That's a great, I want to make that one of my resolutions. Watch out for Lyme disease this year.
Make them, make them achievable, make them fun.
Yeah.
Minus the Lyme disease one.
Yeah.
Although I guess it's fun to not have Lyme disease.
Yeah.
Make them things that you want to do. Don't make it things that are punishments.
Yeah.
Make it things.
I like this New Year's resolution.
Right?
Yeah.
Go on a little trip. That's a resolution. I want to go on a little trip this year. Do a little road trip.
Yeah.
Resolution. Boom.
I want to look at birds more.
Ooh.
We talk about birds all the time. I feel like I don't look at them enough. I don't really... I've got the concept of a bird. I don't feel like I spend enough time looking at birds.
Like outdoors with binoculars?
It could be outdoors with binoculars. It could be on my back porch with no binoculars.
All right. I have a bird-related one as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I talk about this all the time, but I'm going to put it in writing right now verbally as a resolution.
Put it in words.
Yeah. So words, I want to befriend the crows. I want them to bring me little trinkets. I want them to see a little trinket, and I want them to think of me.
That's a complicated goal.
I know. But if it's a resolution, I might be able to do it,
Maybe. Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
I want to...
Crow lady.
Yeah, I think it would add to my aesthetic. I think
that's the next logical step for your life.
Right?
Yeah.
Crow woman. Yeah. So there's another resolution.
Yeah.
Befriend the crows.
Befriend the crows.
I saw someone have a good idea where you could even make your resolutions into a bingo card for the year. So then whenever you do one of your things, you get to stamp it off.
Bingo. That's a great idea.
Right? And those especially, you want to make them fun. You
Yeah.
know? You're not going to do go to the gym 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. And it's not really achievable,
Yeah, exactly.
You miss one day and you're like, well, there goes my resolution.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Whereas skip outside in the grass more, I can achieve that by doing it one time,
Yeah, frolic more.
Yeah,
more frolicking.
Yeah. Smell the rain. Just go outside and get a good whiff after it rains. I like to do that, and I feel like I don't do it enough. Or even go outside while it's raining.
Yeah.
Play in a puddle. There's a resolution. I want to play in more puddles this year. 2024, the year of the puddle.
Someone should be writing these down. It's a lot of resolutions.
Guys, get a pen.
Get a pen.
I can't keep track of all of these.
All right, so we're playing in puddles. We're befriending crows. We're looking at birds.
Mm.
I'm gonna look at them. You're gonna friend them.
Yep,
that's great.
Look at clouds more.
Yeah,
I'd like to look at more clouds.
Are interesting.
When was the last time you laid in the grass and looked up at a cloud?
Well, grass makes me itchy, so
Same.
As long as I lay a towel down.
Yeah. All right. Well, lay in a towel on the grass. You're right, because we don't need to activate our allergies.
Yeah.
Lay on a towel in the grass, look up at a cloud. Looking up at the sky is good for you.
I'm surprised by this answer, but delightfully so.
I'm glad. I'm glad I could surprise you.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, if you have any fun New Year's resolutions, write them in.
Yeah.
At weirdsofeather@gmail.com. Or I'll probably post it as a poll question.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to hear your productivity goals because we're not
fun New Year's. Yeah.
Yes, don't be cucks for capitalism.
Be like, donate more to my 401k or
I can't even come up with examples. Pay my taxes. No. No.
Yeah, meet all my work goals.
Yeah.
Ugh.
How about like smile at a puppy?
Yeah.
Where's that? You know, smile at more puppies and have more puppies smile at you.
Yeah.
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 I think.
Be nicer to animals.
Yeah. I think we're off to a good start for 2024, you know?
I think so too.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a good warm-up question.
That was a good warm. Yeah. I'm glad we talked about it.
Yeah. I was going to do a warm-up question about asking about Christmas presents, but that's just because I wanted to share that I got 8 different skulls for Christmas.
I'm really excited for you.
8 skulls for Christmas.
8 skulls. You know what I got?
What?
A toaster.
A toaster? Oh.
Yeah, well, because Christopher and I have had this, since we've been dating, this ongoing argument about whether or not a toaster is really necessary.
Oh my God, yes it is.
Well, I said there's nothing we can't toast in the oven. You
Wrong.
just put the oven on, or you like fry it up in a pan.
Wrong.
And I was like, we don't even eat that much toast.
Because you don't have a fucking toaster.
Well, that's what he said. We don't eat that much toast, so we don't have a toaster. If we had a toaster, we'd eat more toast. And I'm like, you can fry it. You can put it in the oven on broiler setting and just flip it. Like, there's nothing we can't do in an oven that we can do in a toaster.
Mix it, mash it, put it in a stew.
Right.
I disagree with you.
So not only did I get a toaster, but it was addressed to me as to mother from the fur children.
Oh, so your 3 cats got you a
Yeah,
toaster?
my 3 cats got me.
Very kind.
And Christopher goes, the kids picked them out themselves. So I couldn't
To
even
mother.
say that I didn't want it.
You would hurt their
because
feelings.
I'd hurt their feelings. It's very clever.
Yeah, that was clever.
I see. That being said, yesterday I made toast, and you know what? It makes good toast.
Right?
But
are you
we
eating
have a
more
spot-
toast?
We have a spot after we're done with the toaster. We put it down in the cupboard because my big thing was it's too much. We have so many things on our counter that it stresses me out having all the things on the counter.
You could have gotten an old school little one that's just...
That's exactly what we have. It's just 2 little
down.
things. Yeah. That's all we need.
Yeah, that's all you need.
We don't need an industrial toaster.
No. But
there's no need.
Okay, so here's a resolution. Eat
Yeah.
more toast. 2024.
That's it. That's my resolution.
I think you're going to make
Eat
it
more
happen.
toast.
Yeah.
Christopher's like, we can do bagels now. I was like,
Yes.
we could have done bagels.
It's not the same.
It's
not the same. Christopher, I'm on your side. And I stand with you in this
I
toaster dispute.
I
2023/2024.
honestly, I haven't had a toaster since college.
What?
I know.
A toaster is a necessity for me. I must have a toaster. I love a toast. I love a piece
I
of toast.
know you love a toast, but
I love a toast.
I like toast. I just don't think that a toaster is necessary. But now that I have a toaster, it makes nice toast, and I appreciate the toaster. It's a fun gift.
It's such a fun gift. I'm glad you've come over to the toast side.
Yes.
All right. Should we get into these little accomplishments?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Oh yeah, the song.
Little
pushes.
accomplishments, but big in our hearts.
It's a little push.
No, it's a regular just segs. So this should really be This Is Who I Am now.
Oh fuck.
But I didn't want to do that.
I thought it was a bag.
No, it's a just segs.
Oh.
You can tell by the way I have it split up into segs.
And you can tell by the way it's labeled on the Google Doc, just segs.
Yeah, you can tell by the way that it is. So
okay.
No, that's the song.
No, that was really
that's the song.
No, we got to redo it. The people need to know.
Fine. Okay.
Little accomplishments, but big in our hearts.
Even though
Yeah.
this should be This Is Who I Am Now. Boom. Done. Little addendum.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up with who I was now, and I thought it'd be easier to come up with a little accomplishment.
Yeah.
And it's our podcast, and
It's
we
our
can do
we
whatever
get-
the fuck we want. Whatever the fuck we want.
Exactly. We get to make the rules, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, this Just Segs episode, the segs will be a little bit different because did we even say this? I don't know.
We didn't.
We're doing a
It's
New Year's special. New Year's.
I think we
same old
mentioned
us.
that it was 2024, but we're literally recording this New Year's Day.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So this won't come out quite
won't.
on time.
Nope,
but like
never does.
everything, yeah, we're gonna be a little bit late.
Yeah.
This will come out halfway through January.
Yeah.
The perfect time.
Perfect
for
time
New
to
Year's.
discuss resolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, other ADHDers probably didn't get around to making theirs on the new year.
Yeah.
And so
no time like mid-January to make a resolution.
exactly. The ADHDers
Right?
New Year's.
There you
know?
go.
So really we're right on time.
Exactly.
So because it's a New Year's special, we're kind of doing things a little different. We are gonna do some segs, but they're kind of all alternative segments of just things, alternative things I came up with.
Yeah. Just kind of reflecting on a year.
Yes, because we missed our 2-year episode.
Anniversary.
Yes, we normally, and by normally I mean one time.
That one time we did that.
Yeah. On our first year anniversary, we did an episode where we reflected back on the year, what episodes we liked, what titles we liked,
Our goals,
what
our hopes, and our dreams
hopes
are.
and dreams. And we didn't do that this year, and so I thought we could kind of cram that all into this one.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you.
I'm excited. It's good to reflect.
Ah, yes, it's important. All right, Kristen.
Yeah.
What did you accomplish?
For the Christmas season, for the holiday season.
It's the holiday season.
And the holidays. I referred back to my gin episode because one of our listeners, Ed, I know you're listening, said he was going to refer back to our bathtub gin baby.
Yeah.
To make gin for the holidays. And I was like, holy shit, that's a great idea. And that's exactly what I did.
You came up with that
I
idea.
know.
Great
but
idea,
I forgot
Ed.
about it. And then he reminded me. And I was like, that's
Nice.
a great idea. So I went back and I made I made 2 different recipes. And what I was going to do, you know how I was asking you all about oranges?
Yes.
I was going to bring you some. It's in the works.
Okay.
I got gin for you.
You asked me all these questions about things I liked, and then you didn't bring me anything.
Yeah.
You just wanted to know my opinion on oranges.
Yeah, exactly. What's the deal with oranges?
What is the deal?
No, I made 2 different gin recipes. One's more of like a floral. It has some lavender. It has rosebuds in it. It tastes like flowers and lemon. And the other one is more of like a winter holiday. Christopher says it tastes like pumpkin pie. I think it just tastes like wintry spice stuff. And that's the one I was going to make, but I realized when I started it, it wasn't going to be ready, and I didn't want to bring you down half-assed gin. So
Thank you.
I'll have it ready next time.
Okay.
I got to put all the stuff in it tonight, all like the fixins to make it good, because right now it's just gin. I want to do a correction to my episode.
Oh.
So gin, if you're going to a distillery, gin is distilled differently than vodka, apparently. It's like extra distilled.
Oh.
But bathtub gin, which is what we're making,
Yes.
the poor man's gin is just flavored vodka with junipers.
Oh.
So that's what I should probably look into that more. But I'm not I don't have a distillery in my basement. I have vodka and I have juniper berries
In a bathtub.
in the bathtub.
Yep.
So yeah.
All
You've
right.
got some bathtub gin coming your way.
Cool.
It's like orangey winter spice.
I'm excited for it.
So yeah, it's really good. Instead of limes with tonic water, I put oranges with tonic water, and it makes it really
Ooh.
nice. So I was going to bring you down an orange,
That
some
sounds
tonic
delightful.
water. But over the weekend, I drank all my tonic water, and then I forgot to start to the gin. So it's still brewing.
All
But
right. Well, I appreciate the thought.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you accomplish?
Well, I guess we could have done This Is Who I Am Now, because you could have done I'm a gin maker, and I could have done I am an official lampshade maker.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did finish my lampshade,
Woo!
but that felt like too much of an accomplishment
No.
to do for little accomplishments.
Yeah, it is a big accomplishment.
So
Well,
I
it's
guess-
okay to share
I
big
guess I should have
accomplish-
done This Is Who I Am
Yeah.
Now. Because I'm no longer a theoretical lampshade maker. I'm officially a
Should we do
real lampshade maker.
We'll just do all the songs today. Just be real chaotic.
Sure.
This is time it's different.
Everything has changed.
This is who I am now.
This is who I am now.
You're a lampshade maker.
I'm a lampshade maker.
I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
I finished my lampshade.
You posted it to Instagram. It looks
I did.
really nice.
So you can go
yeah.
check it out. I'll probably, repost it.
Repost
to the
it
Wove.
to the Wove.
Yeah.
Please.
I gave it to my mom for Christmas, and
Oh, you
she
did?
loved it. Yes, which I'm kind of sad because I'm like, oh, it looks
all
really
your hard
good.
work.
Yeah, but no, she
Did
she
she
loved it so
replace
much.
her other lamp?
No, she has not replaced the ugly lamp
The ugly lamp.
because this one's more for aesthetics. That one's purely functional for reading.
Okay.
So that's why she likes it. She tells me, Grace, don't you love this lamp? And then I'm like, honestly, no.
There are ugly things in my house that are purely functional.
Yes.
I agree.
But don't ask me for my opinion on them if the reason why you like it is not the aesthetics, it's the functionality. I'm not gonna be like, yes, I'm sure it's wonderful for when you're reading. I'm like, those
Maybe-
beads are fucking ugly.
Could you take it and change the shade?
Well, I don't know, but no, because it's just right for reading.
It's
But this is a new lampshade, a new lamp. I gave her the lamp base and everything, and I was super proud of how it came out, and I was really psyched about it.
it looks great.
And she loved it. She said it
Yeah.
was very thoughtful. So yeah, that's my This Is Who I Am Now. And my little accomplishment was that I also came up with really good gift ideas to give
that's
everyone.
The best.
Yeah. And I felt like really confident about them,
That's
even though
good.
it was pretty last minute,
That's
you know?
so hard to do,
Right?
I think.
I feel like throughout the year, I'll think of things. I'm like, oh, that's easy. I could get that for that person, that for that person. And then it comes time to do it, and my brain just goes totally blank. And
You're
I'm like,
I don't know.
I've never met these people in my life.
It's so many gifts and you know.
I know. And I don't like to just buy bullshit for people. You know, I like to give very thoughtful gifts, whether I'm making them or buying them. And I felt really good about what I came up with this year. I was psyched about the lampshade. That's a fucking great gift. Handmade lampshade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I gave Lily a drawing and this weird little ornament that I found at an antique store.
Aww.
That was great. Gave my dad 4 hours of labor. He's redoing the basement. Our former home for our 3 felt curtains in my parents' basement. He's redoing the basement. Said basement. And so Ian and I both gave him a little coupon for 4 hours of our labor.
Oh, that's
minimal complaining
in gold.
Yep.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, that was pretty nice of me. And, you know, a few other things. But yeah, I was just overall happy. We got this amazing yard leaf decoration for his mom that was so Judy. And so we were just really excited to get for that. So yeah, I was proud of myself. I normally feel like, oh, I guess I did the best I could this year. And I feel kind of I was behind the ball and kind of shitty about average gifts. But this time I think I actually pulled that off.
I think I did 50-50. Some gifts were spot on. And other gifts were ugh.
You'll get it next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Not every year can be a win.
Exactly.
But yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's keep this horse train chug-a-lugging into a segment that doesn't have a song or a title.
Nope.
It's really just favorite episodes and favorite episode titles.
Okay.
Favorite episodes and favorite episode titles. There you go.
Do you want me to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, why don't you go first?
Okay.
I bet we're going to have some overlaps. Let's start with our titles. You share some titles.
Okay,
I'll share some titles.
And this is just from the past year.
Yes. So in 2023, what were your favorite episode titles that we did?
My favorite episode titles were Baby Dimensions.
Same. That was one
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Bathtub Gym Baby.
Yeah. It's a good one.
The Bewitched to Price is Right pipeline.
Because we were wrong.
Because it was, the funniest thing is, once again, Ed pointed this out, one of our listeners, thank you, Ed, we were singing the I Dream a Genie song and not the Bewitched.
Yes.
And we kept referring to it. So it just makes it that much more funny.
I'm sure it was so irritating to listen to.
Oh,
it's not Bewitched.
It's not Bewitched.
Idiots. I know. I like the title, and I like it even more knowing that we're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's not just a protein soup face.
Yep, that was, I think, my favorite.
That was a great one. And then the Shoebill Puppets.
Yeah.
Woo!
Go Shoebill.
Puppets.
Fight.
Yeah.
Go Puppets. All right. So my favorites, I also had It's Not Just a Protein Soup Face.
Yeah, it was a great one.
I was cracking myself up with that title. A good old-fashioned Nucksuck. Hello.
Oh, how did I miss that?
I can't believe you left out Nucksuck. I also had Baby Dimensions, Bagel Bite 15, My Inner Kevin. I think it's kind of a good one. And then Bagel Bite 22, 20 plus kids and moving on.
Oh, yeah. All right, this is going to be another poll question. Favorite episode titles.
Yes.
We'll have a lot of poll question and answers.
Yes.
Yeah,
good
that'll
idea.
be really funny.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Yeah. Grace, what are your favorite episodes?
Okay. So when it comes to actual content in the episodes, I really enjoyed doing my autism episodes this year.
Yeah.
Autism Part 1, Brave in Our Slippers. I like that one. That's a good title
That's
also.
a good title too. Very creative.
I liked AuDHD, The War Inside Me.
That was a great title.
Yeah. I feel like that was a long time coming for that episode.
Yeah.
And I felt really good about doing that one.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed doing Vampires, Cannibals, and
had
Cryptids.
That one too.
Oh,
yes!
shit.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
That was such a chaotic.
I know.
I
think that was a really fun one. And then the top down man and bottoms up boy.
Yeah.
I think I overwhelmed people with how much information I provided. I think Susan said she had to listen to it twice to really get everything I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
But, that's me.
That's
just me.
That's just you. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to really cram all that info down your throats.
I thought that was a great one. I made a a surgeon I work for listened to it, the one I referred to in that episode, who then gave it to his wife to listen to. And yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah. I feel like when people hear autism and, they hear any implication that they could be autistic, the immediate gut reaction is like, oh, no, that's not me. Because you're thinking of like fucking Rain Man or A Boy with Trains or Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they hear the information presented as just a description of how the autistic brain works, they're more likely to kind of be brought in that way and be like, whoa, I feel like I have bottom-up processing. And then they can kind of understand it from that aspect. So I feel like, maybe it gave some people some realizations about their brain, because it gave me a lot of realizations about my brain. So yeah, I was proud of that one.
Yeah, I think that was a really good episode. I like that one too.
What about you? What were your favorites?
So the vampire cannibals cryptids obviously was a great one.
That was a good one.
I was really proud of my exercise and ADHD episode. I worked really hard on that, and I felt like it affected me personally because it started, kind of off the bandwagon, but it did start me on like an exercise thing and a whole different routine that's really helpful when I'm doing it, and kind of it just really helped me get into like a better state of mind. And so it helped me, and I think it helped some other people too.
Yeah, people responded well to that one. You did a good job
I think it was that was probably the one I was the most proud of.
You seem very passionate about it.
Yeah, well, I love evidence, and there was just like so much fucking evidence, and there's so much about it that it was just, I couldn't stop reading about it.
I feel like there's so much information out there about you should exercise,
Right.
but I really like your approach to it, and I feel like it kind of took a different approach than a lot of other exercise podcast episodes, where it was more about how it can be a support for your ADHD brain as opposed to like a weight loss thing, or you should do this and get in a routine. It's like a more compassionate approach.
Exactly. I think when it comes to weight loss, we're a mental health podcast. I'm not judging anybody's weight. Everybody's got different goals.
Yeah, frankly, I don't care about your bodies.
Yeah.
Don't show them to me.
Just care about your brains.
Yeah.
And I think exercise means different things for different people. Some people have mobility disorders, and it means different things. So maybe some people are benching like 250, and other people are, taking a short walk around the block, whatever that means to you. But I do like there was very much like a cause and effect, and it just like everything made I'm hitting my mic again. Everything made sense to me, and it made sense to my brain, and I think I can stand by something when it makes sense to me, and then when I test it myself and then it personally works for me, then you're like, okay, not only did I do all this research, but then I also like did it myself and it works. So yeah,
I think that was a really good episode.
I enjoyed writing it.
All right.
Yeah. Our next category, Grace.
Yes, our next segment.
Is things I regret or not regret saying.
There's a few that keep me up at night.
Yeah.
Do
you want to share?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So my first one, I don't know if I said this in 2023 or maybe it was 2022. But
the years are blurring.
And once again, like always, I'm just overthinking everything. But this is one of those things that's like, I regret saying this, even though literally no one has said anything to me about it at all. I regret saying how much I love Elvis without also acknowledging that I am well aware that he's also a creep.
Yeah.
Who was predatory towards a teenager.
14-year-old.
Priscilla. Yep. Yes. She was 14 years old. He was like 27.
Yeah.
So pedophile. And also he stole a lot of music from the Black community.
He did. And his dance moves.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, they were the Black community was a huge influence on his music. And then because he was a white man, he was able to, become mainstream popular. Whereas other Black musicians who were much more talented than him, didn't get that same recognition.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where you can hold two truths at once.
Yeah.
I am fully aware of Elvis's problematic history and personal life.
Yes.
But something about that music just gets in my brain and it becomes a brain worm. And like, that is purely the reason why I love Elvis. But I also feel like I just said it without also acknowledging that he's not a great man, and he has all these disgusting, gross
he
things
has a
about him.
sad story, but he also made some sad decisions, I think.
Exactly. And you know me. I can't just let that stand and let people think that I like Elvis without acknowledging that he's also problematic.
Well, it's like Michael Jackson. Like, I think he was a great artist. I think he had he was a talented man with dance movements and singing. Is also a huge creep, and also made some really unfortunate, sad decisions that affected a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And that's really sad, and I don't like that.
Yep. And, I've dropped Michael Jackson music because I never cared about it that much to begin with, but I also don't really judge people who acknowledge his problematic history while still enjoying Michael Jackson music.
Yes.
It's like, I think you can hold two truths at once, and you can separate the art from the artist as long as you're still
aware of the artist.
Yes. I hate when people are like, well, whatever, he has good music. I feel like it's, acknowledge that he did all this gross, creepy stuff.
Yeah.
But also that song's stuck in my brain.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the thing I regret not saying is, like always, I just want to give so much information that it's overwhelming to people. And my Halloween and Samhain episode, I feel like I didn't get to give enough information, which, it's not so much a regret as I wish I could dedicate an entire, 2-hour podcast episode to talk about any topic I want to talk about. So that's more of like, I think I'll just want to do a part 2 follow-up now that I've laid the ground.
Next
That's
Halloween.
Thing. I like to dive into the details, but first you really have to lay the groundwork.
You got to lay that groundwork.
And I hate laying the groundwork. I want everyone to just be on my level so we can dive in deep, but I understand you have to lay the groundwork.
It's like when someone asks you about your special interest and you're like, I know that you're looking for just a general answer.
Yes.
Like people will come to me and be like, hey, do you think I should water this plant more? And it's like, no, there's no saving this. I can't even begin to explain how many things are wrong here.
Yes.
Or like, oh, you like bonsai? Like, what do you like about it? And I'm like, I, once again, can't even begin to explain why and like how to even get started. And like, it's just like, how do you wrap that up into like I like it because it's fun and I like to look at the plants,
Yes. Yeah.
I got to like script out an answer.
Yep. Yeah, you need to have like an elevator pitch. It's like with autism where, people who don't know much about autism want to talk to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, they're looking for the most basic, it comes with sensory needs and black and white thinking. I want to talk about like fucking synaptic pruning and all these like theories about autism and like, PDA and like, top down versus bottom up processing. Like, because I've surpassed that, basic level way long ago.
Right.
Now I'm diving deep into like the more niche research, and that's really what I'm interested in. But also it's very helpful to provide people with that baseline understanding. And that's, I would like to provide people with that. It's just a lot of work to control myself.
I know one of the hardest projects I had to do in college was we all had a research project because we were all biochemistry majors, and that was part of the program is you have to have like a research project. So a lot of people are in like this like genetic thing. They're working with zebrafish. I was in the chemistry lab doing stuff like shooting light beams at estrogen molecules.
Whoa.
And the professor wanted us to give a 5-minute presentation on our research.
5 minutes?
5 minutes in layman's terms. So even explaining what DNA was, I did really well on it, but I worked really hard.
I spent 5 minutes on that.
It was so hard because you get all these people who are just like brilliant and I remember that class that had grad students were in that and undergrads. It was like a really tough class, and we all just like, it was like out of all the things, like it was so hard, and I worked I think the hardest on that to like just I'm like, I've been working in this lab for over a year. How do I just like narrow everything into 5 minutes, explaining it in layman's terms? But it was a really good exercise of like, I think it's really helped me prepare for medicine as well, because you need to like take all of your knowledge and put it into like digestible cookie-sized bits.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good practice, and it's a skill
hard
that, we can develop, but it takes a lot of work.
It does.
All right. What do you regret saying or not saying?
I regret making that swallowing joke in Jamie's episode because I know our children listen to it, and I know they're listening to this one. And I feel bad.
Hey, parents know that this was never meant to be a kids podcast.
I'm like, out of all the episode, she has kids that are like, they're fans.
Yeah.
They're adorable.
I think it went right over their heads.
I hope so. I hope this does too.
I hope Jamie doesn't have to explain some things to them.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I understand that as a regret, but also
it
you
was
can't
funny.
live life by your regrets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think every parent who lets their kids listen to this podcast, they will tell us, like, I know it's not a kid's podcast, and keep saying inappropriate stuff because we know it's not meant to be for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some episodes we could do like kid-friendly ones, but also it's so hard to watch ourselves. I just nannied for this family the other day after like not working with kids for years. At this point, I worked at the preschool like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be so good at like watching my language and being, catching myself swearing. I just haven't been in practice.
Yeah.
So there are so many, I had to be so conscious of what I was saying.
Oh,
it was like 2 4-year-old twins and then a 1.5-year-old. So it's like you let one thing slip.
I know.
Those kids are parroting you nonstop.
Forever.
Yeah. And it's so hard. I was like, wow, I am really rusty with this.
With my nephews and niece, I've done a lot of son of a biscuit.
Son of a beehole.
Or Jeemers.
Jeemers is a good one.
Because I'll start to say it and then I like look in the corner of my eye. My sister-in-law is like, whatever. And then my brother's like,
oh, please, Nick.
Yeah, I know. As if he hasn't
swear.
said anything.
One time, Ian and I were in a coffee shop in Burlington like years and years ago. And there was this woman who was sitting at the table next to us. And she got up to go to the little cutlery station. And she came and sat back down. And she realized she hadn't grabbed a plastic knife for her bagel. So just to herself, she goes, son of a bee. And gets up and goes and gets her knife. And Ian and I, that was probably 8 years ago. And we still say son of a bee to this day.
Son of a bee.
Oh, son of a bee. It was just so cute.
That's very cute. I have a hard time. Sometimes we see a rough crowd in my field of medicine. A lot of vets, a lot of people who've seen things, heavy smokers, and people they've been around,
Yeah.
And they don't dial in their language. And so when we're like talking, sometimes I forget that I'm supposed to be like professional. And every once in a while, I like let it slip.
But that's fun. As a patient, I love
really. Okay, I'm glad you say that because I'm always like, oh, I'm sorry.
I love it because I hate that whole act that we have to do. That we're pretending to be professionals.
Yeah.
You're real people, and those patients are real people. And if I'm swearing as a patient, it's kind of nice to have the medical personnel.
I know I'm not the only one who does it.
Talk to me as a real person.
Because I've definitely watched. We had a person who came in with a complication, and we were really, both the surgeon and I were really upset about it because we thought the surgery went really well, and so we weren't really expecting. Sometimes you can kind of see a complication coming from a mile away. This one, not so much. And so I bring him in the room, the surgeon in the room, and I was like, you got to see this. This is bad. And he kind of looks at the patient. He looks at the leg. He looks at me. He looks at the leg. He looks at the patient. He goes, well, shit.
See, I would love that. I think most people would.
Yeah.
It's like, don't pretend.
I don't want to be like swearing left and right at patients.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, God fucking damn it. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, yes. But I think if you've established, some type of rapport with them.
Yeah. If it's, let's slip the other time. Like I saw someone who the other day. I saw someone and it was a happy occasion because he was healing better than expected. And I think I said, this looks fucking great. And then and he's a young guy and his parents were there. And I was like, I mean, this looks good. His parents are laughing. I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a really like humanizing moment.
Okay. Well, I feel better about it, but I got to stop swearing from patients so much. But
yeah, within reason.
Kids
are a bigger deal.
It's not that I'm swearing at them. Like, I'm just
swearing
in their vicinity.
Swearing into you.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with kids. I'm not swearing at the kids.
Yeah.
I'm like stubbing my toe on the coffee table and screaming about it.
See, that's when you start doing the Home Alone, that
where
he's
not
just
Home
mumbling.
Alone. It's
Yes, it is.
No,
Yes.
it's a Christmas Story.
That too, but in Home Alone.
And then he goes, oh fudge.
Yes.
And then he gets the soap in the mouth.
But Harry does a lot of the mumbling thing where he's always like frickle, 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 frickle. And he's always like mumbling things that are almost swears, but they're not. Trust me, it's from Home Alone.
But it's also from A Christmas Story.
Yes, but he's like mumbling out there. The specific thing of like mumbling and it sounds like it's swear words, but it's not swear words, I think of as a very Home Alone specific thing.
But it's also in the Christmas Story.
Yes.
But then they say, oh, fudge. Except they didn't say fudge.
Yes. Harry, I've reached the top. All right.
Okay.
What's our next segment?
Next segment.
Our final
hopes,
segment.
dreams, aspirations for 2024.
Yes. Our final segment for this
Final
New
segment.
Year's
For this
smorgasode.
little smorgasode. Just segasode.
Segasaurus. I want to hear your hopes, your dreams, your wishes for 2024.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you hope for?
Well,
what do you wish
so
for?
I read yours, and yours are all very like WOF specific.
Yes.
And I started writing some that were like me specific, so I changed some. But this one I want to keep. My number one goal is the bar is so goddamn low.
That's what we're doing
The
here.
bar is so
Achievable
low.
goals.
Is to read or listen to one book in its entirety for the year.
That's a great goal.
The past 5 books I've read, I have not finished.
Yep.
And it's not because I haven't liked them. I put it down and then it's like totally like blank my mind.
I feel like when I get 75% of the way through a book, I'm like,
Yes.
I get the gist of
I
it.
got
I
it.
see where it's going.
Right?
Unless it's a mystery, I'm
Right?
like, all right, happy
Exactly.
ending.
Maybe we got to read more mysteries. But
Yeah.
it's like, I've got the gist of it. And it's just like, I can't wrap it up.
Same.
It's so hard. Even the books I really, really like,
Same.
I just can't do it.
Same with shows. There's so many shows out
Oh,
there
yeah.
where I've watched 7 fucking seasons.
It's almost like I don't want it to end.
Yes.
So if like I don't finish it, it doesn't have to end.
Yes,
That's
I
how
can't
feel.
bring myself to watch the last like 3 to 1 episodes.
There's a avid reader in our office, and we talk about this a lot. And I think I've crushed his soul by saying that I have not finished the last 5 books that I've read and or listened to.
Mm. Yeah, some people are like dedicated finishers. Like they always finish a movie.
I used to
They
be
always
like
finish a book.
that.
I am not
I
like
was
that.
the
I'll
rule.
bail
It was
out.
my only rule. And then you know what happened? One time I was like, it was like my 3rd time getting halfway through this book, and I was like, I can't finish it.
You got to know how
And
to quit things.
And then I
It's an
quit it,
important life
and then
skill.
it was like the doors were open. I was like, I
Right.
don't have to finish anything I don't want to. And then
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, you can bail out at any time.
At any time. But
It's
I'm like
freeing.
determined. I'm determined to finish a book
All
this
right.
year, whether I'm listening to it or reading it. I'm determined.
I believe in you. I think you can do it. You want
yeah.
me? You want me to do one? You want to go back and
Yeah,
forth?
yeah. Let's go back and forth.
Okay.
Okay.
So for one of my hopes, dreams, and wishes for 2024, WOF specific, I
Yeah.
hope that we have the time to finally design and start to sell merch.
Oh, Jesus.
Careful.
Yes.
Yes, design and start to sell merch.
Sorry, I'm hitting my mic.
Yes.
I was just so excited.
I know.
Yes.
It's something we talk about forever. We promised Susan that we would
We
make
promised her a
sweatshirts.
year ago.
I know. Well,
Sweatshirts.
it's one of those things where whenever I sit down to work on it, it's not perfect and I can't figure out exactly
And
how to
it's
make it
also
perfect.
like,
And so I don't.
If you make, it's like one of those things where it's like, well, before I do this, I
Yeah.
gotta do this. Before I do this, I gotta do this.
Yes.
We're gonna do it. 2024 is our year, baby.
All right.
We're doing it.
I believe we can.
Yeah, I agree. It's happening.
Yes.
Get ready.
I need to be more decisive
Yeah,
and more brave, you know?
we can start with something easy, just something to get our toes wet.
I feel like a Pizza Secrets merch would be easy
Yeah.
because we got the subject right there. Pizza.
Absolutely, it's pizza.
Secrets.
We'll sell We're gonna sell actual pizzas.
We're going to open up a pizza shop.
Pizza shop, baby.
You got to come here and get your merch. It's just pizza.
We've opened it in an old Pizza Hut that closed down in
Yes.
2008.
Yes. You guys are going to love it. That's a good idea. All right.
Everybody's gonna come to Maine,
Yep, to get your merch,
get your merch.
which again is just pizza.
Just pizza, limited time only.
Yeah,
while the pizzas are hot.
You have to whisper inside the shop, Pizza Secrets. You know, it'll have a theme. People love a theme restaurant.
Our theme is whispering.
Maybe we'll have horses tied up outside. And it'll be next to the train tracks. Topical.
I
Nice and simple.
think, yeah, nice and simple.
Yeah,
no
just have to-
issues with that whatsoever.
just have
yeah,
to open
no,
a business.
I think we can get merch. We've got the demand.
Yep.
We've got the motivation.
Do we? That's what I'm lacking.
Almost. And
I'm motivated in theory.
in theory, we've got the know-how.
Yes.
So I would say we're 45% there.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need the rest. We can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's a great one.
Thank you. What's your next goal?
Okay, my next goal. I don't know if this is just going to be a me goal or a WOF goal.
Jesus Christ.
But I would like to write, or at least to start writing, a short essay on my theory of the history of water bottle trends among nurses. It's a thing.
I believe
I can spend
you.
all day. I might have to make it into an episode, but
I'm bored already.
I know it's so boring,
Hey,
but it's fascinating.
I talked about left-handed scissors, so anything's a possibility.
I think there's a direct line of like what the water bottle trends, like what are nurses doing and what are like the Stanley Cups are really in right now, but like what's going to be the next one? You know what it is? It's going to be this guy, this water bottle. That's just a hint for you guys.
Is it nurses or is it women?
It is women, but especially nurses, because what do nurses like? Hydration.
They love it.
They love it.
Can't get enough of
And
the
they have a
stuff.
hydration station, and everybody's got their fun water bottle, and then their coffee.
Well,
and
I just got the best water bottle for Christmas from Sister Lily. She got me a giant Burt's. It looks like a little Burt's Bees chapstick, but it's a water bottle. So it's like a giant Burt's Bees, which, is the opposite of a tiny thing. It's a big version of a regular thing. And I love that almost as much as a tiny thing.
Yeah. Well, what I would like to do in this essay is not only discuss...
In this essay, I will discuss
not only the history of water bottle trends, going all the way back to Nalgene.
Whoa.
Yeah,
going way back.
Way back. But
going back to cupping your hands together and slurping out of a stream. The original water
bottle. Canteens.
Yeah.
I would like to chat about going all the way back to Nalgene, and then as different water bottles come out, the benefits of them, why they were popular. Like at some point there was like some sort of like improvement on the form of a water bottle to have this whole, like I don't think a Hydro Flask is a bad water bottle. It definitely had its advantages, but then how did we go from Hydro Flask to Stanley Cups?
Consumerism, unfettered consumerism.
Well, yeah, but there's got to be some improvement upon the Hydro Flask to make the Stanley Cup, right?
Well, I think you're assuming that people change water bottle directions because of an improvement to the water bottle technology.
Well, I think
it may be an aesthetic thing.
It's an aesthetic thing, but I think the Stanley. We'll discuss in the essay.
We can't get into this now.
I know. It's my essay.
You're right. It's sucking me in. It's so interesting.
I know. It's just saying there's certain improvements like the handle and the straw function of the Stanley that the Hydro Flask didn't have. But you're also right. It's very much consumerism.
Yeah.
And then with my theory on the future water bottle.
Don't reveal it now. Save it.
I know. I got it. Anyway.
Leave people on a cliffhanger.
I know. Okay.
Like I don't want to come back.
If you want to hear more about my water bottle theories, let me know.
Hang tight.
I'll give you my personal email and we can just discuss it.
Do an informative info dump.
I might have to. Yes.
We've got a snappy song and everything for the segment.
I know. You said it wasn't interesting, but I think it's interesting.
I don't know if I said that. I said I don't know if everyone will want to hear that, but everyone doesn't want to hear
by the time
a lot of the
I'm
stuff
done.
we talk about.
You guys are going to be...
They'll be sucked in.
I believe. Like a Stanley Cup straw.
Ooh.
Oh!
Topical reference.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
What's your second one?
Another goal of mine for this year. Kristen, you and I have written what I believe will be maybe top 10 song for 2024.
Absolutely. We just got to release it to the world.
We wrote a song called Part-Time Helmet Baby. We've been working on it for quite a while.
It's based on... One of our friends had a friend who had a baby who needed a helmet to like reshape its head.
Yes.
Which is common.
Yeah. A lot of babies have helmets. I think they're the cutest things ever.
Yeah, they're really cute.
I love baby helmets and I love baby glasses.
Oh, baby glasses are the best.
Is there anything better than a baby in glasses? But baby helmets are up there. I think they are absolutely precious. I think they're functional. They're, good for you. Reshape that head.
Right. And so we wrote a song that not only was informational, but destigmatizing the helmet babies.
Yeah, it's very
helmet baby. Yeah.
And I think the helmet babies will feel supported when we release the song. They'll be like, finally a song for us.
It's for us.
Yeah, something
all
for us.
All this time, it's helmetless babies.
Yeah, that's all you see.
Now it's our time. Our time in the sun.
Yeah. And the helmet will protect your head from the sun,
There you go. Well, it depends on how the helmet's made.
You'll find out in the song. It's extremely informative.
Yeah.
A lot of facts.
It's
pretty factual and based. It tells a story.
Almost an essay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Will Smith rap.
Yeah.
where you're getting a lot of information.
Yeah. You might need to take some notes.
Yeah, it takes you on a journey.
But that's
about
why it's
the
a song.
medical process of being fitted for a helmet
It's a lot
as
of
a baby.
3D printing going on.
Yeah, so that's one of my goals. I hope we finally record and release Part-Time Helmet Baby as Patreon content this year. I think we can.
I think we can too.
And I guess as a to be part of that one, like item 2B, is that I want to start a Patreon for real.
We keep talking about it. Yeah. Oh, we're going to start a Patreon. Oh, this will be great for Patreon. We're going to start it. It's happening.
We're
folks.
the boys who cried Patreon. We're the boys who cried a lot of things.
We cry all the time.
We're always crying. And we're going to show you guys that we do have some follow through. Did you hear about me making my lamp? You hear about me making my lamp. I do have some follow through. You heard it.
She made a lamp. That means we can get a Patreon.
Yes. I talked about making a lamp, and then I made that lamp, and I finished it, and now it's being used as a lamp. So anything's possible.
Manilamp Destiny. That's such a terrible joke. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I'll add it to my things I regret saying, but I'm still going to laugh
Immediately regret it.
Immediately. I had to say it, though.
Yeah. So based on that, I think we've really opened up the door possibility, and we're going to stop letting you guys down quite as much this year.
I think that's the overarching theme.
Yeah.
Stop letting the listeners down.
Quite so much. Let's not go crazy. We're not going to stop letting you down all the way, but let's mitigate it. Yeah. We'll try to make fewer big promises, and we'll try to follow through on the promises we do make.
A rolling stop, if anything.
Yeah. All right. And what's your next goal?
My last one is to start writing Horse Train Meet Cute.
Yep.
Because we want to write it.
Yes.
And we actually had a cool idea of like writing the same story, but in different genres.
Yes.
Where by different authors.
Yeah. Me and you.
We're different people, believe it or not.
George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep.
So you're going to write like a horror.
Yes.
I'm going to write a rom-com.
Yep. Because, the concept is solid. Horse meets train.
It's a
horse
story
and train fall
you
in
have
love.
to write more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be told so many different ways.
So many different times.
Levels. Yeah. There's so much you can do with this concept. It's just like so solid.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to write this concept, general concept, horse meets train, they fall in love. It can go so many different directions. So we're going to write different versions.
Different versions of it. So you're going to write a horror version. Hopefully they fall in love at the end.
You'll see.
I'm going to write a rom-com.
Coming this summer.
And we'll probably have some other genres, right? What was the other one? You wanted to write a mystery?
Well, mine will, I guess you could do mystery. You could really do sitcom. I'm kind of thinking like Seinfeld-esque.
Yeah, you could do sci-fi.
Ooh,
maybe
sci-fi.
It's a horse train in space.
Maybe. Who knows?
The future.
Lots of directions.
Yes.
But let's start with, just those two. We both write one. I've already come up with a cover poster for mine.
Oh.
And that's what really started me off.
That's nice.
I've got a whole concept, and I just need to flesh it out, but I think we can do it.
I think we can self-publish.
Yeah. I think we got something here. And we can read it on this Patreon that we're going to start.
Yep.
But let's not make too many promises.
No. But these are, like I said, these are hopes, dreams, and wishes.
Let's start with one chapter. Let's both write one chapter of our Horse Train Meet Cute.
Yeah, we can release chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then we'll be encouraged by how much the people love it. They'll be begging for it, demanding the next chapter. What happens next?
What happens?
And that'll motivate
this
us.
Horse train.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we have to kind of, flesh some things out. Because if we're writing the same story, does it have the same general ending?
No. Different ending. Only the concept, horse and train meet and fall in love.
I like it.
What happens next is anyone's guess. All right. And my final goal for us is to get on TikTok for real. But really, my main goal is to start connecting with other AuDHD creators.
Yeah.
I feel like I follow so many great ones on TikTok, and I'd really love to connect with them and do some,
There's one I want to reach out for a future episode. She's fantastic, and she talks all about mobility disorders and
Is it burritos and ADHD?
It's no, but I like her too.
Me too.
and it's she talks about like Ehlers Danlos and hypermobility disorders and AuDHD. And I know she's good because, well, I've been following her for months, but like the other day, Christopher like runs upstairs and he's like, go like this, and he's like sticking his tongue out, and I'm like, what are you doing? Apparently he has a tongue tie, and she found out from this TikTok, and I was like, oh, is it from the mobility disorder TikToker? And he's like, how did you know? I'm like, because I fucking love her. She's so great.
All right. Well, that's a good goal.
Yeah, I do want to reach out to her because she has so much information that it's like overwhelming.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so inspired by so many different AuDHD creators on TikTok that give me like a lot of good ideas. Like Morgan Foley is a big one that I follow that really give me so many good ideas for content and these topics and just really help me understand myself. And so, yeah, I think getting on TikTok would be good for us, not just for the podcast, but also for working on, especially for me, being more comfortable being seen. Yeah. And not cringing at everything I do on video.
Instead of your invisible audience.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm already being watched. Might as well be watched by real people.
Chat back if needed.
I think I'm just so kind of uncomfortable in my own skin sometimes. That when I'm on camera, I'm like so extremely hyper aware of it. Yes. And I'd like to stop being that way because it feels so impossible now. But think of when we first started this podcast. I was mortified. Oh, yeah. I was so embarrassed. Any episode we did, I would stay up all night after we recorded, like thinking about it, replaying what I said. I'm like, oh, was that stupid?
And then like the day before recording, you would stay up all night too.
Yes.
It was not a healthy situation.
No, and I'd be so anxious about it and just like, just really overthinking what I was saying, how I was saying it, blah, blah, blah. I felt so embarrassed at the thought of anyone listening to me talk. And no, I don't give a fuck at all. Like we don't give a fuck. We give lots of fucks, but just not in that sense. I do care. I mean, there's plenty of things that I say. I'm like, well, that was embarrassing. Yeah. But I do
every day I come on here and embarrass myself.
So fucking stupid.
Just like, why are you sharing this?
Sometimes I'll like randomly think of a person throughout my past that could have listened to an episode. I'm like, cringe. I'm like, oh, I guess anyone could listen to this. What if that person listened? Yep. And it'll just make me do an internal like shudder. Oh yeah. Of like, hope they did it. I have a lot
of coworkers who listen, who I forget listen.
Yeah, I hate when you're reminded that someone listens to the podcast. And I'm like, oh no. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
It's really funny though.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, it can make us cringe, but we still do it. Yeah. And I think embracing the cringe will really be a main goal for me for 2024. Yeah. Of not trying to avoid being cringy, trying to do things that feel cringy, but doing it anyways. Because what is cringe other than, your own internal judgment based on doing something that's different from the mainstream?
I think we have different levels of cringe.
But I think all cringe is, there's, who is it? Someone has a saying that's like to embrace the cringe is to be free. Where once you do embrace that cringe and you say, sure, people will think of me as being cringy, but really isn't thinking of someone being cringy is just you holding that holding that judgment and, projecting it outward.
Cringe, because I think we have different.
Cringe is like doing something that people think is embarrassing or weird.
Okay.
What do you think of as cringe?
Pedophiles are cringy to me.
Oh, no, you're using cringe wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's just
I'm glad we settled that. Let's not embrace that.
No.
Like something that I think is like morally.
Oh, now you're making me look like a fucking pedophile.
No, I was not. You're not
embrace that.
I'm not. I'm just saying that like we're using cringe differently.
You're using cringe as a much more extreme. Cringe is much more mild than what you are using it for. Okay. That is like a crime. Yes. You're thinking of just criminals.
I mean, our last episode we did say commit crimes. I guess it will be the future episode because it's going to come out next week.
Yeah, commit crimes within reason, but not those types of crimes. No, what you're thinking of is like horrifying, monstrous behavior.
Yeah, I guess, I am using cringe wrong. Okay, I take that back.
Yes.
I'm using it wrong.
I'm really glad we cleared that up.
I was like, I'm not going to embrace it.
I'm not going to embrace that. I did not realize that's what you thought cringe was.
Well, I just thought like cringe, like, I don't
Would you really say that someone being a pedophile is cringy?
No, I would think it's horrific and terrible. Yeah. But
monstrous.
Yeah.
Sociopathic.
But I would like get like the shudder, like I'm cringing.
Yeah, I would say shudder.
Okay.
Cringe is when you perceive someone or your own behavior to be like embarrassing.
Okay.
And so to
But
embrace,
like lightly embarrassing.
yes, it's not like not shameful behaviors, you know,
Okay.
not like horrible. You're not doing anything bad to anyone. You're just doing things that, you know, others will judge you for. But
The
it's
socks is belt and suspenders.
sure.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, singing in public or being seen being like awkward, you know, like I feel like people use it as really a way to like bully autistic people specifically. They talk about, you know, people being so cringe. A lot of it is just like autistic behaviors. And so
Okay.
I think we've all been so shamed out of showing our like hand flapping in public. If you were to,
I was just about to say that.
yeah,
Okay.
people would say that's cringy, but like
Would they say it's cringy or would they say it's weird?
they would probably say it's cringy.
Okay.
To be hand flapping openly in public, you know? For a
Man,
child, maybe it'd be.
I just didn't know what cringe was, I guess.
Yeah,
God.
God.
Man, my whole life.
I know. That could have led to a lot of
A lot of things.
bad misunderstandings.
Glad we cleared this up.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so I think, you know, embracing the cringe, it really is freeing because, like, so what if people see your TikTok and make fun of you? And, you know, this is me saying this in theory, but I want to put this into practice. So what if, and same with this podcast, people probably listen to this podcast and they're like, oh my God, they're so cringy. But isn't that just them holding that judgment against themselves and they wish that they could not care so much about what other people are going to think? And they wish that they could, you know, be that uncaring and just kind of let
Yeah.
themselves do what they want to do
I guess
without fear of judgment.
I care what people think,
I know.
but we're
But
trying not to.
yes,
That's the goal.
letting that go. I mean, once again, it's good to care what people think in terms of like, you know,
crimes.
yes, crimes and
Okay.
not harming others and not
Yes.
being horrific, not hurting others with your words or your actions. But in terms of caring what others think of like whether you're doing something that's cool versus, you know, cringy or stupid or lame.
Wearing.
Yes, how you dress, you know, how you move your body,
Mm.
what you talk about, how, you know, like within reason, like how loud you talk in public. I think there's so many judgments and people are so scared to do anything that's like cringy or embarrassing that they like don't let themselves do anything,
Oh.
you know? And that's how I feel whenever
God, that's so like upsetting to me because you just don't do anything.
yeah.
You're just always worried about.
And I think it leads to a lot of boringness. And especially, you know, in the younger generations, the more access generations have to technology,
Yeah.
the more use.
You're just always
you're-
worried about what other people think. Oh,
Yes.
that's like awful.
Yes. And then, you know, people will be judgmental if you put yourself out there on a platform like TikTok because people have a lot of internalized judgments. And so they also judge you. I think especially, you know, neurotypicals can be judgmental of our behaviors and really, you know, ableist and horrifying. But also, I see it coming a lot from people who are also autistic or ADHD or AuDHD. And they have internalized this shame of don't, and that's what masking is, you know, don't do this, don't act that way. And oftentimes they can be the most critical of us unmasking because they have internalized this rule of, oh, you don't show that. That's shameful. That's embarrassing. People will make fun of you. And then they kind of become the bully, you know?
Huh.
So I just think it holds us back. And, you know, I see it in myself. If I ever go to record a TikTok of myself, I'm like, nope, can't. No, that's so embarrassing. No. I just like, I'm so judgmental to myself.
I also like don't think I'm advanced enough with technology to do a great TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know enough.
Like I need a camera crew.
Yeah, I need
I
someone
don't. How
to
do I hold my phone?
Yes. How do I hold my face? How do I hold my body?
I think what we need to do is we need to find a Gen Zer to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
For like a couple times until we get the hang of it.
Yes. We really, yeah. We
Because
really
we
need
very
like a
much,
social
you and
media
I both
person.
do like the millennial hold where you like hold it way up.
Yeah.
But apparently we're not supposed to do that.
Well, I don't care about things like the millennial pause. Get a fucking life, you know? Leave us alone. Stop making fun of us. We're just gonna...
We've been through a lot.
Yeah, we have been through a lot. I feel like chuggy kind of goes along with being cringy.
Chuggy. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Chuggy is a millennial specific version of cringy.
I see.
So when they call us chuggy, they're saying you're being like cringy. You're being, you know...
I see. Okay.
So part of it is like, yeah, we do the millennial pause because back when we had, you know, video recorders, you did have to press it and make sure it was recording and then start talking.
Yeah.
So I feel like letting things go like that will make us all a lot more free. You stop judging the millennial pause in others and then you stop judging the things that you're judging yourself about. It's when Gen Zers make fun of us for like, I guess, not being actively talking when we start recording a TikTok. Instead, we
Oh.
like start it and like make sure it's recording and then start talking. Because recording used to be different when we were growing up, when you had like a camcorder.
What do you just like? You're already talking when it's on?
Apparently. And you know what I think it is? And listen up, Gen Zs, because this is my take on you, and then we'll end this podcast.
Okay.
I think
Really
that
got off track here, huh?
we really did.
Wow.
This cringe talk really took us down a path.
Yeah.
I think when Gen Zs are judgmental about our millennial pause, it's because they are projecting and they feel like if they aren't immediately entertaining to people within, 0.3 seconds of starting a TikTok, that people will just move on and not pay attention to them.
Oh.
And so they make fun of us for like starting the video, pausing for a second, and then starting to talk. And sure, maybe that's chuggy or whatever, but I think it's a projection. And they feel like, you're a monkey, Derek, dance monkey, where
Dance
they
monkey.
feel they're so scared to lose people's attention that they feel like they have to be in your face and they have to be like shouting at you the second the TikTok starts and they have to be like grabbing your attention. Otherwise, they'll lose it. And isn't that just, a projection of their own fears? Anyway, that's my take on Gen Z.
I think interesting. Now I gotta go. Now I've got lots of things to think about.
You and I feel like use TikTok very differently, or we're on very different sides of TikTok. We have some overlap,
We have some overlap.
but there's some areas where it's like we're not on the same page
we are,
at all.
yeah, man. I'm in the weeds here. I'm still on horse hoof TikTok.
Of course you are.
I find it fascinating, and I even gotten over to cow hoof TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
expanding your
Yeah,
horizons.
they're
Nice.
they're cleft instead of one big one.
Mm,
So there's much more to work on.
so much more to learn.
And yeah, I'm on a lot of gardening TikTok.
Mm.
I'm trying to look for information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I do more like social commentary.
Yeah. Actually,
TikToks.
lately, because of the holidays, I've been on consumerism
Mm.
analysis TikTok. And so that's been delightfully upsetting and depressing.
I'm on a lot of like anti-family vlogger TikToks.
Oh, yeah. So
That's
I
a fun
tried.
one.
So I did that. And I do listen to a lot of podcasts about that. The Someplace Underneath, Spun, they have like a 6-part series on it. And it's really, really well done. Like
Yeah, I
incredibly.
think I listened to that series.
Their podcast is so depressing, but it's so well done that I can't stop listening to it. I'm like crying halfway through. It's like upsetting I have to take breaks. But it's really well done.
Mm.
And I really appreciate them. Yes, so anti-family vlogger. I've been on like anti-consumerism. And then most recently, because of all the updates, I've been on analysis of Tunnel Lady
Mm.
and the repercussions of her actions.
I knew she was up to no good. I knew
Yeah.
she was nothing but trouble.
I know. We could spend a whole day on like what TikToks we're on.
Yep. Maybe we could do a future episode.
Yeah,
but
we
for
could.
now,
But for now,
we got to end it there.
Sure.
So this has been, sure. This has been our 2024 New Year's episode.
Yeah.
And I hope,
episode.
sure.
Maybe.
I hope you guys are inspired to start some mediocre, achievable resolutions for yourselves this year.
I like that term.
Right?
Mediocre, achievable.
Yeah.
Make them fun.
Yeah. Make
That's
them
the whole,
fun.
Yeah. There's no need to have a serious resolution. It's a resolution.
Yeah. It can be whatever you want to be. Don't make it so productivity based. Use your wishes to, maybe have the goal to have more like enrichment in your life, more connection, more fun,
Yeah.
more connection with nature. A lot of ours are nature based.
Nature, or, maybe just making your home environment better,
All right, here's another one for me. I want to go to the movies more. I love going to the movies, and I don't go to the movies anymore. I like going to a movie theater.
Yeah. I think
There's-
that's a great one.
There's another one. Go to the movies
I can't
more.
remember the last time. Pre-COVID is when I went to the movies.
Yeah, I guess COVID is why I stopped. But I would go to
Yeah.
a matinee.
I could go to a matinee because I don't want to go to like opening night because I feel I have a
No.
tendency to yell things.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
true.
time I ruined Twilight for everyone. Sorry, those
the
people.
fuck is happening? Well, Twilight ruined itself.
Well, I always forget that I'm in the theater and I can't control the volume of my voice, and I tend to shout.
That might be difficult for me.
Yeah.
But
Also, popcorn doesn't agree with me.
oh,
I don't want to be tempted.
yeah, that's true. That's tough. Let us know your mediocre, achievable
We'll
resolutions.
have a lot of polls on like,
Yeah.
what was your favorite episode? What was your favorite title?
Least favorite episode. No, we don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourselves.
Don't tell us that. And any hopes, dreams, wishes, or aspirations for 2024.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. You can follow us at Weirds of a Feather on Instagram. You can email us at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. You can join our Facebook group. You can buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/weirdsofafeather.
Yep.
Soon we'll have a Patreon for real, and you can get some additional content
maybe
there.
a TikTok.
Maybe.
One step at a time.
Yes.
It's a wish, right?
Yes, it's a wish and a hope and a dream. Let's start with Patreon. I feel like that's more achievable.
Yep.
We'll go from there.
Yep.
Maybe I'll just work on filming myself without letting anyone see it and just work on being more comfortable filming myself. I feel like that's the first step.
Yeah.
Because even just by myself, even if no one's going to see it, I'm still like, that was cringy. So embrace the cringe.
Embrace the cringe.
Free yourselves
Free
from
your mind,
the judgment.
and your soul.
Yeah. And your heart.
Join a cult. No, don't do that. No.
Join a club.
There you go.
Make sure it's not a cult.
Not a cult. Join clubs, not cults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our official stance.
Yeah.
All right. And should we squawk out?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a new one.
Yeah. I like it. For the new year, new you. Oh. I see it.
All right.